Hi there, I'm Tania Kolar.
I'm Peter Vonau.
Today's video, we're going to discuss the illusion of control. Many people are really wanting to control every moment of life. And if we think about it on the bigger picture, the grand scheme of things, control is an illusion. Even though we believe that we have control over a situation or any circumstance, it really is not, full and complete control. So if you think about it, simple as you make a decision that you want to be a parent, let's say. So you control the situation. You think you have all this control. I'm going to be a parent. You're going to have this child. But do you really have the control that you think you have? Because you're not able to control the gender of the child or the personality or what parenthood entails, right? So you can say that here's what I would like, but you can't control that environment. It's completely uncontrollable. It's uncertain. And I think that's where a lot of the control comes from, the need to find certainty. So we were trying to control everything because we want certainty so that we feel comfortable. But life is not about just being in those comfortable moments, because we can't expand our being, we can't move forward if we're really struggling to hold on to control, which is really just an illusion.
That's so fine. That's so right, Tanya. You know, when I want to keep control and have everything under control, I am not ready to let something naturally flow. And this having control is based on a very old paradigm, on a very old habit. Just think about it. When people started to live here and they had a lot of enemies, they were collected in a group, and so they keep the control because they lived maybe in a forest, and wild animals were there, or dangerous things happened there, and so they wanted to keep control. And that the program they created is life is against me. Life is against me, and I have to fight against this kind of life. So it's much better if I keep control about everything. And to keep control about everything, these people are missing something, because life is not against me, life is to me, or life is for me, or life happens through me. So the more people are aware, or we are aware, that life is really good to me, that means I'll be supported by the whole life. And the more I put the focus on that, of course, I will attract these results as well. Maybe you can add something on that, Tanya. I don't know.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. And a lot of that is fear-based. So it becomes now a defensive, protective mechanism that we have adopted. So we're always trying to protect ourselves from the unknown. And so, but what that does, it really cuts you off from life and from moving forward in a way that is going to expand your greater good and the greater being. So we get trapped in these negative emotions and the negative energy. And so when we are experiencing that level of fear that leads us to want to control everything, we need to sit in that space and allow that feeling to emerge, and that negative energy that's trapped in the body through the need to control and through the fears that we have created. And yes, it is a long-standing paradigm. It's the long-standing beliefs that we have, and sometimes they go deeper, in terms of ancestral DNA that we've picked up, right, that we carry with us now in this life moving forward, which still, again, is a huge inhibitor to our goals and our desires and what it is that we would like to create. So you just, again, want to start to unravel a little bit of that need to control. Start with something small. It's taken a long time to create those paradigms. So it's not going to be a shift that happens overnight. But when you want to make a change, I think that's the beauty right there, is that you have to start. You have to, create that awareness for yourself and start to be able to release that need for control. Again, it's an illusion. You don't really have the control that you think you have. Even something as simple as what you want to have for dinner, right? We say, okay, here's what I'm going to have. I'm going to take something out of the freezer or the refrigerator. But, well, what happens later when you actually want to start making that? Maybe you don't feel like that anymore, right? And you make something different. But, or, you plan what you're going to wear in the morning, but it's raining and now you have to change your outfit. So we think we have control, but control is just an illusion, and it makes us feel better in that moment, potentially. But just be careful and mindful that you're not cutting yourself off from the greater good that is right there for you.
I love to control everything, every possible thing. I love to control that. But I stopped doing that a month ago. And it was so amazing what happened with me, with my life, by living a life of surrender. Because this life of surrender has so many wonderful, positive, great things in this backpack for me, and I love to discover all of them. And the more I live this life of surrender, it's so amazing. And Tania, we shared a lot of wonderful, wonderful things, what I experienced during that time. So I really can highly recommend just start living a life of surrender, and just everything starts with the awareness. The more you are aware that life is really good to you, and you are able to create by letting go, but of course have a plan, but then letting go, you will see what will happen then. And the more you live in that, you are more relaxed, you are more powerful, you have a more fulfilled life, and you will see life is really good to you. And I only can suggest you be prepared to be surprised then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the thing, is that we fear so much, and then when those fears eventually, let's say, manifest in some form, it's not as scary as we thought it was, right? In most cases. And so it's the illusion again that we have created around so many situations, in our life, and that need to control. And sometimes we have a need to control everything in our environment, every single thing that you're doing. As you said, Peter, that was an issue for you as well, and certainly for myself. Not only did I want to control everything in my life, I wanted to also control other people's reactions. And so that's a lot. That's hard work. That takes a lot of effort. And when you can stop, putting yourself in that energy, it's amazing the change that you are going to start to experience when you can give up the control that you truly believe is real. But it's more of an illusion than it is factual.
Of course, and it's so much based on insecurity. It's so much based on anxiety. It's so much based of not trusting and all that. But we can have a much more relaxing life by starting with the awareness. Because the situation maybe has changed already decades, but our habit is still programmed in the old, with the old software. Mm-hmm. So the more we are in the awareness of how is the situation now, we can change we also can change we can change the awareness, and so we can change our habit. Mm-hmm. So, and we are responsible for our habits. We are not the victim of our habits. We have the power to change these habits in a very easy way. We start with the awareness, and then everything is based on that, and we can achieve wonderful, great things. And then you can see, actually, control is really an illusion, which doesn't help us at all. We have no guarantee. Well, I think we have one guarantee, that we will die one day. But until then, we can create our life from the bottom of our heart, and we can do whatever we want to have, as long as we can stand behind what we are doing, and then we can do wonderful things. We can create wonderful results, so that we can say in the end, because of this this part, that we can be sure that we will die once. Well, we have created a wonderful, wonderful life without control, because control keeps us away from the support from the universe once again. Because be aware, if you need some support, just invite the whole system, the whole universe, the whole world, whatever it is, you can name it however you want, that supports us.
And I think one of the other guarantees in life is that there is constant change. So if we know that, if we understand that reality, that things will always change, it's a great idea to get on board with change. And so with that change comes, not wanting to control everything, right? So we really start to have to become comfortable with trying to release that control and being open to the change that can really help us grow and evolve. And so we do want to thank you for tuning in for this video. Unfortunately, we're out of time. So we hope that you start to really resist the need to control. Start small. It's okay to start small. One little thing a day. Make a decision that you're going to release that need to control that situation.
And I want to tell you something. I love to be a role model for you, because believe me, I wanted to have everything under control, and I released a lot of them. And the life of surrender is something amazingly great. So I wish you all the best by exercising this wonderful tool, and see you next time. Thank you.